this presentation and then sharing my screen. Throughout the presentation, I will not be able to see the chats, but I do ask that if you have a question, please drop it in the chats, and at the end, I will go back into the chats and be sure to address every question that you may have. And then, of course, feel free to unmute yourself throughout the presentation. I'm happy to answer questions on the fly as well. All right, so if everyone can see my screen, again, my name is Taylor Wellborn, and I am the Dual Enrollment Coordinator at TCL. And tonight we are here to talk to parents and students about dual enrollment and how dual enrollment can be your pathway to early college credit. So I always like to begin with defining dual enrollment. Dual enrollment has variations throughout the nation. So specifically in South Carolina and for TCL, dual enrollment is a program that offers college credit to high school students in a non-threatening and familiar environment. This program allows the students to get college and high school credit simultaneously by completing their college classes. So the classes completed during the dual enrollment process will appear both on their college transcript and their high school transcript, affecting both GPAs. Dual enrollment is open and available to all of our students in our 4 service counties. So that includes Beaufort, Colleton, Hampton, and Jasper. Currently, we allow dual enrollment participants to join our program in their junior and senior years of high school. We offer dual enrollment classes at all 4 of our campuses, which include online and our Hampton campus. And then always the big question is why dual enrollment? Why is it so important? Which we will go into here shortly. The next question I get is always, who can participate? Is my child eligible? As far as TCL is concerned, we only have a couple requirements. The first is that the student must be enrolled in a high school program. We can go ahead and check that off. If you're here tonight, your student is likely enrolled in Wade Hampton High School. The second item we require is appropriate placement testing scores. We also accept SAT, ACT scores, previous AP exam scores, and something that we do internally called multiple measures, using your child's high school GPA and transcript to automatically place them into college level classes. So as long as they qualify in one of those 4 placement areas, they can check that box as well. And then finally, we just require that the students be U.S. citizens or have proper citizenship documentation. So now the big question is why? Why dual enrollment? And then specifically, why dual enrollment at TCL? So dual enrollment is a unique opportunity that allows the students to get the college credit while they're still in high school. If the student is determined enough, they can even end up walking their high school graduation, obtaining their high school diploma and a TCL associate's degree. So this is just an incredible opportunity that allows the students to get a head start and get them into the workforce a little faster, or get them into that 4-year university a little easier. At dual enrollment at TCL, we boast a 25-to-1 student to professor ratio. So what that means is that your students, your child is going to be able to dip their toes in the college water. So it's not like they're being sent away to university. They're going to be in this huge auditorium with 500 classmates, with a professor that's going to lecture and then kick them out and not even know their name or recognize their face. Instead, at TCL, you're going to get that intimate one-on-one relationship with your professor. Your professor will likely know your name, the assignment you just submitted, and absolutely be able to pick you out in a crowd. So this will be less overwhelming for the students because it'll be similar to the high school experience. And then, of course, non-threatening, making it more comfortable and allowing them to still achieve good grades, but getting that dual credit side of the dual enrollment. Another reason why you should do dual enrollment at TCL is the easy transition from dual enrollment to first-time freshmen. So if you're already participating in dual enrollment, it is as easy as graduate, finish your final transcript, and you just keep rolling with your classes. There are no bumps in the road, there are no holdups, it's just smooth sailing. So that easy transition allows students to continue and not miss a beat. They don't have to skip summer semester after their high school graduation unless they want to, but they don't have to. They can just keep flowing and allow them to finish that associate's degree even quicker. Additionally, it will allow them to lighten the financial burden of attending a college. Thankfully, Wade Hampton High School is so generous enough that they will pay for the dual enrollment classes and cover the cost of the textbooks. So you can get college credit while in high school completely free. There's no out-of-pocket costs to do dual enrollment through Wade Hampton at TCL. So this will lighten the financial burden significantly, especially for those students who are concerned about how they're going to afford college. This is how you get at least a year under your belt completely free. You could even get your associates completely free if that student is determined enough. And then finally, we offer more course opportunities. So not only do we have the same courses other dual enrollment programs offer, such as our transfer classes, we also offer a career development track. And this track I'll go into a little more here later, but it prepares students to go directly into the workforce. So to roll into that, I would like to continue by discussing our two tracks. So the first track we offer for students is our transfer track. Our transfer track is freshman and sophomore level college courses that are guaranteed to transfer to any four-year college or university, and even some out-of-state institutions. So some classes that you may recognize that fall under this transfer track include your English 101, your humanities, mathematics, general psychology, all of your associate degree entry level courses. And again, the great thing about this is that they are 100% transferable. So, you know, if your student is interested in going straight to Clemson or going to USC Columbia, they will not have any wasted credit by attending TCL and pursuing this transfer track, because those schools will accept our transfer credits, giving them a leg up. The other track we offer that makes TCL so unique is our career development track. These courses are built specifically to prepare the students for the workforce, and some course examples include our building construction certificate, our HVAC electrician, our brand new culinary arts and hospitality management division. You can obtain 3 different certificates in there, including baking and pastry. And then of course we have some technology, computer technology and IT certificates. Your options are limitless here. We have over 80 different certificate programs that students, dual enrollment students, are eligible to participate in. And again, this is for students who don't necessarily have their eye on going to Clemson or going to USC, College of Charleston. Instead, they really just want to get their hands dirty and go right into the workforce as soon as possible. Many of these course examples listed here on your screen are less than 21 credit hours or right at 21 credit hours. And that means that they are obtainable in 3 semesters. So definitely easy if you have an incoming senior or a junior that is interested in these. They can graduate high school and go right into the workforce. They don't have to come back to TCL. They will have already completed that certificate program. All right, so then the steps. Once you've kind of decided on your track and what pathway your child wants to participate in, you need to complete these 4 easy steps. The first and probably the most important is to apply online at tcl.edu/apply. This is how I get access to your application, and also how your student gets a student ID number, which is required for placement testing. So it's very important that if you are even just a little bit interested in dual enrollment, go ahead, go online, complete the application. It takes only 5 minutes and is 100% free. So there's no harm in just going and getting that application in so that I can continue to share information with you. The second step is determining if the child will need to take placement testing or has obtained placement through another measure that I mentioned previously. I work very closely with Ms. Lauren Paul at Wade Hampton High to help these students figure out if they need to take a placement test, and if they do, testing's offered at Wade Hampton High so they don't even have to leave the campus, or if they don't, they can get right into step 3. Step 3 is to complete and submit the required forms. TCL requires 3, and then there are a few additional forms that Wade Hampton High specifically requires. So definitely important to review that packet and read that information thoroughly. And then finally, the last step is to confirm registration. So students cannot register themselves, which is why Ms. Lauren Paul and myself are here. We work together to ensure that we register the students in classes that fit with their high school schedule, and that, of course, put them down their desired track. So either the transfer track or our career development track. Just some helpful tips in order to complete step 1, which was to apply. If you visit tcl.edu, you'll see here I have highlighted with the orange arrow our apply button. You just click there, create an application, and then submit your information through that portal. While you're inside of our application portal, some helpful tips. Your first is that your admit status. I get this question quite frequently. Are they a freshman? Are they a readmit? What are they considered? It's very important that you designate yourself as dual enrollment. That way you will be assigned to me, and Miss Paul and I can work with you. So your admit status must reflect dual enrollment. The next helpful tip I have for you is under your program choice. A lot of times students will get stuck here and they're unable to successfully submit their application. And the reason for that is here with this blue select button. So after you've chosen your dual enrollment program, you're going to need to select your term, which would be 2022 spring, and then click that select button. What that does is secure your choice and then allow you to navigate to the next page. So those are just some helpful tips to get you through the application process in that quick 5 minutes. Some of the forms included that I mentioned that need to be completed and signed include our dual enrollment agreement and FAFSA waiver, our dependent residency form, and then the FERPA form. I always like to put a little extra emphasis on our FERPA form because this is the form, parents, that allow me to communicate with you. So once the student is registered in classes, they are considered an official college student. And what that means is they, unfortunately, you would be unable to call and ask about their grades or attendance or anything on their behalf unless you have this FERPA form on file. So while it is an optional form, I always highly recommend that parents complete the FERPA form just in case something happens and the parent needs to contact me or the professors directly in order to assist their child in being successful in the dual enrollment program. All right, and then after registration, so what happens? Parents have completed the steps, the student's registered for class, and now the student has no idea what to do and needs help. Parents, this is where you can come in and kind of help them as far as where their responsibilities lie. So the student responsibilities after registration, number 1, and definitely the most important, is to check their personal email for registration confirmation. Inside of that registration confirmation email will be a link to step 2, which is completing the online dual enrollment orientation. Students are needed to complete that orientation because it shows them how to set up their TCL email, how to review their schedule, how to get their textbooks. So students, after you've registered for your classes, check your email, look for that registration confirmation, and then complete your orientation. That should help you navigate and prepare you for a successful upcoming semester. And then finally, I did want to speak just briefly on our TCL College Store. This is a brand new textbook program called First Day Complete. This program is completely free for Wade Hampton students, and what it does is it automates the textbook ordering process. So your child will receive a link saying, hey, reserve your textbooks. They will click that link, choose if they want to pick up their textbooks in store or have it shipped to home, and then click submit. It is that easy. We have even coordinated arrangements to ensure that if your child does prefer their textbook to be picked up at our Beaufort campus, that it is picked up by Wade Hampton staff and then provided to the student at the high school. So obtaining textbooks are even easier than it's ever been before, and dual enrollment is now streamlined and as seamless as possible. All right, and then finally, I just wanted to highlight some important dates. If your child is interested in dual enrollment, applications and the 3 signed forms are due to Ms. Paul October 6th. At that time, they will be processed and submitted to me for registration confirmations to be completed the week of October 11th. So students, keep an eye out on your personal emails the week of October 11th, because that's when you will receive your registration confirmation for our spring semester, as well as information on how to access your dual enrollment orientation. And then also finally, for those students that are registered the week of October 11th, we will offer in-person dual enrollment orientation November 4th at 11 a.m. This orientation will be offered at Wade Hampton High. That way students do not have to worry about transportation. It is right there at their high school campus. At this time, I am going to continue to share my screen with my contact information. Feel free to jot that down. That way, if you have any questions that you'd like to ask off screen, you can easily do so at either one of my email addresses or my phone number. I would like to go ahead and open up the floor to our faculty and let them share some insight with you, and then of course, open it up for any questions for our faculty or myself.